Hey y'all, Philosophical here. I want to make this video as quick as possible, but I just want to share a story of mine that I had experienced, one of many I've had with some pretty awful narcissists, criminals this past year. But this particular one is just, it's weighing on me. The death of this man, Tom, and the way that his family reacted to it as if they either didn't care or they had something to do with it. It's my own humble opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but the way that things went down was pretty fucking strange and not the way that I would have handled things. Long and short, I lived with a guy, Mike, and his father. They were both narcissists. They were both criminals. They both done had jail time for extended periods of time. This is their life. Um, Basically, his father, we were all doing meth at one point in this house, and I decided to get clean and stop. And long and short is these two didn't. It was clear to me that they were still getting high. This guy, Tom, one weekend just started losing his mind and destroying the house. It was clear he was on something. He wasn't right mentally, he wasn't right physically, he had no control. If he wasn't on meth, the only time I've ever seen this was when I watched Intervention and saw somebody on bath salts. But it was clear that there was a problem. His son, Mike, had a girlfriend named Marisol, and it was her birthday. And instead of taking care of his father, his concern was going and getting a room for the weekend for her birthday. And he also offered to get me one too, as he thought that I wouldn't be safe in this house with his father. Instead of dealing with this, he moved everybody out of the house and got us a room. I didn't argue because the house wasn't really the most comfortable house to live in, but at the time I was in a bad situation and this is where I was living and I was grateful just to have a roof over my head. But he got me a hotel room for 2 nights as well. It progressively got worse for the 3 days before all this happened, and it got to the point where his father was naked in the hallway with his dick in his hand, just screaming all kinds of crazy shit about his ex-wife and just life in general. It was really sad to me that he was like this. So anyway, I got a room for 2 days, and I was supposed to come back and get the dog, but the room that I had gotten wouldn't allow dogs. I never went back to the house, and I feel like that was actually my saving grace, because when I came back 2 days later, I had called or texted Mike on my way back saying that I was going back to the house and if he was back there yet, because I didn't know what I was walking into. And he said, yeah, just don't clean anything up yet. Don't touch anything until I get there. So it was almost like something was staged while I was gone. I left and he was still there to get my room 2 days before. He was still in the house. I went back to the house. He still didn't come out of the room. His father, I'm very intuitive. I pick up on people's little shticks. His thing was he used to literally use the bathroom every 10 minutes. It was a running joke in the house. He didn't come out for days. Uh, the door was supposedly locked from the outside, his bedroom door that he was in. And I went to Mike after he came home later from where he was with his girlfriend and said, I'm worried about your father. I'm worried that he's dead in that room. Oh no, I've seen him go party harder than this. He's been passed out for more days than this. Didn't even care. I said, have you told your mother that this all happened? He says, yeah, I told her. She's coming tomorrow. So my concern was the fact that, how do these family members not care about the well-being of this man in this room that hasn't come out for days? So the next morning I woke up and I just got a bad feeling. Like I said, I'm super intuitive, man. My hair stood up on the back of my neck. I actually was texting Mike saying, I know that your father's dead in that room. Don't worry about it. There was too much don't worry about it, and it was very unsettling for me. So I went outside and I called the police and I told them that I believe that there was a dead man in the room next to me. They came. Before they even walked up the steps, they could smell it because his air conditioner, I guess, wasn't on in the bedroom and it was dead of summer. And they just literally went back down the stairs and said, yeah, there's no doubt he's dead. Before they even opened the door. I have never experienced anything like this in my life. But I did look over at my supposed friend, and he couldn't have cried a tear to save his life. It was very sad to see the fact that there was no feeling there. And I felt this narcissistic stare from the kitchen while I was being questioned by the cops, almost as if I ruined somebody's plan. And they went upstairs. They asked me how come nobody went in the bedroom to check on this man. And I told them, I said, his son told me that the door was locked from the outside. I just believed them because it's just an uncomfortable situation. You don't really know what to do. And they told me we opened the door right up. It was never locked. So Mike comes back from the kitchen with his eyes all wet all of a sudden. You could tell by the way his demeanor was. You didn't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that he didn't know how to have emotion, but it was forced. So the cops took our statements. They asked me questions. They came up to my room and asked me more questions when he wasn't around, and I'm not going to disclose what they were. But it was clear to me that there was something that somebody knew about this man's death. I texted his girlfriend and said, I believe he's dead in the room before I called the cops. And her text back was, God will handle it. This was a red flag for me, man, that somebody, if not multiple people, knew about this and that something just wasn't right. Long and short, this dude, Mike's mother, came in my room a little while later, about a week after his passing, and was drunk and said they're investigating Tom's death. And I wasn't surprised, but I acted surprised. And I said, why? She said, because his toxicology report came back and there's something not right in it. She had asked me a couple questions that made me realize that it was being put on me. That whatever was in his toxicology report, somebody said that I had something to do with that. So, you see, narcissists will set you up for murder. They'll set you up for fraud. They'll set you up for just about anything because this is the kind of motherfuckers that they are. I believe that they're investigating this man's death. I really do. I believe that I was saved. Literally, I saved myself by picking a hotel that didn't accept dogs because I feel like I was supposed to go back and get this dog, and then it would have been me going back in that house. I never went though. I never left my hotel room. So I'm not really sure what's going on with it now. But I know since then I've been tried to be kicked out of that house multiple times, almost as if somebody knows that I know something and it's going to destroy their lives and they were trying to get rid of me. I personally believe they were trying to get rid of me in a bigger way than that, if you understand what I'm saying. But there's a higher power that had a different plan for me. I truly believe that some of us are sent into the lives of narcissists to destroy them without even having to do anything. They try so hard to destroy you that it winds up backfiring on them because they don't think of consequence. All they think about is they have to destroy you. So they destroy themselves in the process. So you become their karma, basically. But I had to get this story out there because it's so unsettling when I saw them carrying this man out there, and that this person who claimed to be my friend was telling people things that made it seem like I had something to do with it. I don't hurt people. Empaths don't hurt people. Narcissists do. Narcissists like to create life insurance policies. I have a feeling that he didn't want me to call the cops because whatever was in this man's system, he wanted it to be gone by the time he called the cops. I Googled this, and it takes 3 days for a substance to be out of someone's system. And if somebody had drugs in their system, they overdosed, certain life insurance policies wouldn't cover that. I also learned about black magic that's done with cremation seeds and what necromancy is, and that if you ingest it, is what I found in these little vitamin capsules that were taken apart, and there was black powder put in them, and they were put back together. They were attempted to be given to my boyfriend Brian as well, but he wound up throwing them in a bag, and I found them about a month later after all of this happened. And it's just funny how all this stuff comes together. But I found on YouTube and Google that people do black magic rituals where these cremation seeds will make you go crazy. They will make you have nightmares. They will make you not remember things. They will make you actually lose your mind. So I'm not positively sure if that's what it was, but I do know for a fact that the way that everybody handled these things, because everybody came off as Christian to me. These are the dangerous religious narcissists that are out there, the ones who scream God and Jesus, but yet they have murders under their belt. You understand me? So be careful of these people because they're everywhere around us. I feel like I was shown this because I feel like there's a lot of people that have in their families where someone has passed away. They're showing me how narcissistic families operate. A lot of times the narcissist who passes away will be by themselves because they've burned so many bridges with the family that they don't want to be there for them, but they will get a life insurance policy on them, no doubt. And a lot of times I'm learning that the narcissist will piss the family off by putting somebody else on that life insurance policy. And they don't like this. So that usually is what happens. They'll start falsifying documents because they're angry at the person who created the life insurance policy that they didn't leave them anything because, well, they're narcissists. They're greedy, they're stingy, and they don't care about anybody. So I just wanted to share this story. I wanted to put this out there because it's like I was in shock over this. Like I actually had trauma over this because I having a man dead in the room next to me for God knows how long was disturbing to me. And to be told don't worry about it, and then to be told by this female who brought in Ephesians books to me when she first met me and came off as somebody she wasn't, telling me don't worry about it, God will handle it. When how would you feel if that was you fucking dead in that room? Was that supposed to be me? Was that supposed to be my boyfriend? I don't even want to know the answer to that. I just wanted to put this story out there, man. They are dangerous, dangerous motherfuckers, and you're going down. You're going down. All of you are going down on the planet. Have a good day. I hope this helps somebody. I'm pretty sure this story, unfortunately, is going to resonate with some people eventually. Whenever this video gets viewed, somebody is going to be shocked that they've gone through the same thing. And it's sad. It really is sad to see the lack of care and love for family members when they're dying. And that there are murderers amongst us and even in our own families. It's really sad. But this is the year that everything is coming out. Karma is hitting a lot of people on this planet very hard. From government officials to politicians to elites to celebrities, all the way down to your personal families and friends. So prepare yourselves because, you may be finding out some sick and disgusted and twisted things about people who were close to you. Whew, mic dropped. Philly out.